So, I mean, it indeed sounds like it's both the technologies and the markets are very fragmented, right? So this is something that it's usually challenging to deal with for companies. How do you think, I mean, or Honeywell in the past, how do large corporations or startups like us tend to deal with this environment, right?
Yeah, I mean, the large number of measurements, and as Florin was saying briefly, you see that almost like each of these measurements are based on different platforms. In the case of Flusso, we can do, I mean, it's a unique platform that allows us to do a relatively large number of measurements on the same platform. But you go to particular matter or you go to acceleration or to something else, you change platform. So it is a fragmented market because there are different platforms and each player comes from his position of strengths. Oh, I have this technology, I leverage this and move in the environmental market with that, you know. Now, a fragmented market, and you know, being, as I said, in Honeywell, we were watching actually which are the fragmented market because that is the best place to grow. Why? Because a fragmented market means that there is still opportunity for innovation. The entire IP, the fundamental IP has not been written yet. So you don't have players that so much surrounded themselves with IP to prevent everybody else from coming into the field. There is still a lot of innovation to be done, either from reducing costs in some of the sensors, developing smaller footprints, lower power sensors, doing the integration, the fusion, the artificial intelligence. So the fragmented market is attractive because it means there is still a lot of opportunity for innovation, a lot of opportunity for newcomers, you know. On the other side, a fragmented market invites the large players. You know, how do we say, Florin, in Romania, the big fish eats the small fish?
Yeah.
So the large players are going to look and to start at some point in time a consolidation in the industry, because that's kind of what it's going to happen at some point in time. But we're not yet quite there. The markets are still evolving. So I think it's a great time to be an innovator in this fragmented, diverse, growing space.
It's yeah, I like this way of turning challenges into opportunities. From your point of view, Florin, sort of, you know, the academic that comes as an entrepreneur, then how do you, can you comment further here?
Yeah, I mean, I very much echo everything that Cleo said. I totally agree. And it's very interesting that I work in two fields. I work in power electronics and power devices, and this field in sensors. And they cannot be more different. In the sense, power electronics is the field of few big players. And if you are actually getting to a technology there and you have orders, then you have orders of millions. So you have a few customers with millions. Sensors is very different. Sensor is in a way very challenging from the perspective of commercializing this and dealing with thousands of opportunities of small numbers of thousands. But actually, this is good for the small companies, exactly as Cleo said. And this is good because it offers a sort of an easy entry to address something specific with the technology through innovation. And I think this is what the newcomers bring. They bring innovation. And this is a field that welcomes newcomers. It welcomes them. It's a rich field. It's a field full of innovation. And I find, you know, from Flusso perspective, there is no shortage of opportunities. We have lots of opportunities. It's just to address them, to deliver on them and to address them in time. But the opportunities are not our risk. So it's a nice field to be in. And in particular, environmental sensor is a very good field for small companies and for new companies. And I finish here.
Thank you, Florin. Thank you, Cleo, as well. So we just passed the half an hour, actually. So I'd like to open here now the floor to questions from the audience. I haven't seen any in the chat yet, but please raise your hands if you have any question for either Cleo or Florin, or even myself, actually. And if nothing comes, I will take this opportunity to ask more from my side, really. So let's stay a bit on this point of the role that startups can have in a fragmented market like environmental sensing, right? There is really a sort of balance between how startups can relation themselves with large corporation. I think I will ask this question to you, Cleo, because it's very much aligned to the to your last role in Honeywell, right? How do you really see startups collaborating and working with large corporation? How these relationships basically is usually framed? How does it happen?
Yeah, so I witnessed almost, through my career in Honeywell, the transformation of the corporation. I mean, when I joined Honeywell Corporate Research Center, and very honestly speaking, there was not a huge difference between the work that would have been done at a university with the work that was done in the Honeywell Corporate Center. And we were present all the time in conferences. And Honeywell, I remember in 1999, Honeywell received, an award of the transducer in Sendai for the most complex MEM structure ever built, and so on and so forth. So there was the Corporate Research Center that was focused on each individual technology and so on. And over the year, not only Honeywell, but the same happened, with AT&T or to IBM or so on. Little by little, this Corporate Research Center downsized, and some of these technologies now are being brought into the companies by acquiring, licensing, or partnering with small companies. And the thing is not laziness, but it's the way that the world has evolved. And again, I'm using Honeywell as an example, but it's not only the Honeywell case. The thing is that we are dealing with more interconnected, complex systems. I mean, if you look at any process into an industrial process, a refinery, a petrochemical plant, if you look at what is happening in big building facilities like in an airport or in big hotels or in other facilities, the systems are becoming so complex that literally only the very large companies have the power, the knowledge, the capability to work at these systems. In automating a refinery, a pulp and paper, and going and ensuring the safety and the control of a Dubai hotel or so on and so forth. So what I think is happening, these companies start playing very much as a system integrated, control the big software pieces that come with that. Like Honeywell through the avionics, cockpit avionics, the enormous complexity of everything that is related to the safety and to the navigation of an airplane. And because of that, they put their resources and their focus in understanding the system, controlling, managing the system. For the individual technology that, as Florin was saying before, which can be developed a little bit in a more contained manner in a small group, in a very agile group, it's to their benefit to be developed in this kind of as smaller companies, even in universities, and then to be inserted in a large corporation. I want to say that as I was migrating in Honeywell from being, the head of the sensors lab into being in charge of all the safety system there in one of Honeywell businesses, I was a little bit kind of bipolar as do I like the fact that I'm no longer working on sensor there or I don't and so on. But the thing is that I completely understood what is happening, and that's why I like working actually with the startups, because I know that you can go and enable this huge system, get inserted into that, and partner with one of the system integrators.